I feel like soon you're going to tell me that I haven't been doing something that I should have done. And then I won't know what to do. That my mouth will become empty hands. My hands will become blank stares. The cry knot will jumbo marble itself in the oven of my esophagus until the ache beckons my tears to follow the paths of my cheeks. You see, I get in a way. I get in a wandering way which gets in my way while I'm on my way to get there, wherever the edge of city street puddles, so much gathering to ignore. Why am I like this? I do not deserve to be sad. Poverty pretends to be a Lexus or a Benz with glinting rims. Pretends to be jumbo flat screen TVs. 20 pairs of the newest Nikes, sound systems, Gucci purses, iPhones, and bling. When in reality, it is repetitive nights of oodles and noodles. Captain Crunch with water for dinner contributing to a fake full. Pavement for yard. 4 heads to twin bed. Our facades become the heartbeats of our hope. Foundation of breath. And if all underneath is hollow, at least the cover glints. And we matter most when it does. It does not matter when you do, but if you don't, you never ever will. And your cry not. Weeks off. I have to update you on Paper Voices. We all rolled strong through the trials for the Connecticut members. Paige Tyler, Jessica Bell, and David Walker went to the Grand Slam. And out of the 3, 1 was able to actually make the Connecticut Slam team. Let's put our hands together for David Walker. So I'm very excited. We've all been able to support each other as a writing family. We are excited and happy that you are here with us today. I have some fantastic poets to spit some poems to you.
I'd always taken the logical approach to things. Reason over religion. I'd always reached for my science textbook instead of the Bible. It made more sense to me that the universe began in a bang, in the destruction of boundaries and rebellion, and the size of a golf ball flushing out. I could never wrap my mind around heavenly bodies beginning in chapter 1, Genesis. And God said, "Let there be," and so there was, setting fire to the early morning sky, birthing toddlers, spilled milk droplets across the abyssal canvas he called night, and it was good. I never understood. Let there be beasts in his own image, and so we were. My head spun circles around Saturn's rings at the concept of how one person could fabricate a universe using only soft fingertips. Only eyes that ease like the familiarity of home, until her eyes took a flying leap for mine. Until stardust spilled between our lips, her tongue building solar systems in the crannies of my teeth. She was sweet enough to give me cavities. We would have killed for love to be as innocent as ours should have been. I don't know if I was going against God's word by loving a woman or by worshiping her. Her silky smooth hand in the dip of my waist was never meant to be a crime against the heavens. I never understood. You shall not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. It is an abomination. I looked at it scientifically. Over analyzing heartstrings, I looked to her as a goddess. Religion, a foreign concept to me, yet around her I knew only how to be on my knees. She made supernovas explode in the back of my mind. I want us to collide like Andromeda in the Milky Way. I'd wait 4 billion years for it to happen. Preacher called it a decimation, called me a walking sin. I called her the most delicious sin I ever knew how to love.
Okay. Give it up for Paige Tyler! All right, ladies and gentlemen, I made a hosting mistake, and I kind of want to get in the habit of this. I do have to say that, you know, poetry is very expressive. Spoken word poetry can be very intense. We really speak our hearts, our experiences through our poems. And if at any moment you find something to be problematic, you need to step away from the show, you can feel free to step away from the show. We want to make sure that everybody is safe. We believe in the concept of safe space and people taking care of themselves emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically. I do want to let you know that we do practice the freedom of expression with no filters on this show. So if anyone's watching right now, I know that there hasn't been any curses said yet, but there could be a curse placed in a poem for artistic effect. And if that should happen, I'd like to give you a heads up on that before it does. Having said that, at this time, I would like to introduce our next poet. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap for Aiden Powell.
I'll learn to stop following my heart when the day turns into dark, so eager to leave myself bare as you sharpen knives to cut me apart. I've let it happen before. Times of vulnerability trace times of innocence, times too numerous to count on fingers, cupped in anything than loneliness. I shove myself out of my comfort zone and into your arms. You ask me, shouldn't that be the most comfortable place to be? But my jokes never seem funny. When I laugh, you don't laugh with me. Now, I'm not saying I'm a comedian or anything, but I think I could make you laugh just using the air that I breathe. Mm-hmm. I'd spit wit through my teeth and pray to the God that I've never been quite sure existed, that it helps you find comfort. People see me as laughing at parties, but I see myself contemplating the meaning of life in this tattered ruin of a city. I wonder if someone might listen to me. Wrinkled fabric meets broken concrete as I lean my aching back against the wall. I feel my heart sink, wondering why it is that you haven't called. It's been 3 years and I haven't heard the sweet symphony of your Beethoven-grade tongue pushed against the inside of my cheek. Ooh. Each breath was a quarter note rest. Each second was another beat from the drum. If you were my world wouldn't revolve. You stopped time, the time that I couldn't buy any more of, the time we saw each other stripped of. Each passing year we got older until I can't recognize who you are now or remember what you looked like before. Ever, like a magician with a dove, you slowly disappeared.
Give it up for Aiden! Oh! Yes! Woo! Up next to the mic, I would like to introduce a very special poet. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for David Walker! Woo! Walker!
Bringing it back to the safe space. Here at Paper Voices, we do like to let people know about our poetry and what is in it. So for this next one, it's an experience of mine, but I do feel that it's necessary to say that I want to warn anybody out. It's okay if you want to step away at any point. And yeah.
Give it up for David Walker.
How insecure are you? She leapt from her lips like it was obvious, assuming because it's obvious. Obviously, we all got insecurities. Why we gotta have insecurities? She presents herself to me with new cuts on her wrist every day. I write to get it out. She draws a blade to get it out. A poem isn't enough to take away all this pain. Her veins tuned in perfect fists. The fiddle of her wrist, it's almost beautiful. She started slicing below her hips. If I cut deep enough, I'll carve something I'm almost beautiful. Her thighs are cellos. Crescendos are too frequent. Every time I say I love you, why do you question if I mean it? I asked you a question and I mean it. Why do you question if I mean it? Loving you is starting to become difficult. I love what you do to me. I hate what you do to yourself. I love who you are to me. I hate who you are to yourself. You keep saying you don't need any help. Stop saying you don't need any help. Open wounds spill tears. You dead is one of my fears. I'm always here if you need any help. Always. Always.
Give it up for David Walker! Ladies and gentlemen, poets have brought poems today. After all, they are poets. Up next to the mic, I would like to introduce another very special poet. All these poets are very special, but please take this time to put your hands together for Jessica Bell! Woo!
Body, this pumpkin gutted womanly body, what you call family tree, engraving its roots like rings of the stump, changing color like patina of nature. Autumn didn't look this angelic until you arrived. You were hanging in the clouds as if the wisp spoke a soft-tongued language off your praying knees that shook the atmosphere when you knelt to the Lord in pity. Why do I have to be so unoccupied? The sky curls up under the horizon sooner, as if to tell me this is retreat of the heartache. You can't use other people to fill missing pieces, to fill the vacant seated insides of that pale stomach you got. DNA, stringy attachment, making you feel light, like harp strings lived here, hard to remove cobwebs of your empty belly. You've been scraped hollow. Learn to not take up too much space. This body is proportional. Abandon. We call this rebirth, palming at your skin, wanting to crawl out of it in all of its nakedness, barefooted. Peel out of negative space, let yourself cave into a scarlet skyline. You beg for pigment. It's gotta be something deeper. Thank you.
Wow. Give it up for Jessica Bell. Woo! This is so fun. This is so fun. Before we sign off, I just have to say, I love just Paper Voices. I love the different flavors of poems. Everybody comes stacked with their own powerful piece, and their the unique skills that they bring to each of their pieces is so diverse, and I love it when it all comes together. It's like the perfect meal with all these different flavors. So give it up for Paper Voices. Give it up one more time for Paper Voices. Before we sign off, I do want to give a couple of shout outs. I know that last was it the slam was last Friday?
The Rockville one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, last Friday we slammed at Young at Art at 6 o'clock. We kicked it off around 6:30 Poets time. But we slammed in a team competition where our district, it was actually called the Battle of the Districts, the Hunger Games of Poetry. Our district of Manchester battled Rockville. And I want to give a shout out to Rockville. Let's give it up to Rockville. Rockville just came out having fun and seeing what we can do as a unified team, and how we can network and kind of brainstorm and branch it off of each other and vibe out off of each other, of 3 to 5 poets as on a team, and then come out and slam and represent for your district in the future. And I'll get back to you with dates sometime in the distant future. I guess, I don't know, anything else, Paper Voices? I guess that's it. We're signing off. We will not be on air next Thursday, but the following Thursday we'll be back, and hopefully you'll get have a peek at what the team has been working on. They have a great team piece with a military-based theme that I'm really excited about. It's in the rough draft stages, but they're working it. So hopefully we'll be able to air that and show you what that's all about next week. What's the date? May 14th? Is that the open mic?
No, the next time we air.
The next time we air is May 14th. Next open mic is May 20th. I love you, J Bell. Peace.